Hello again guys, and as promised, a Excel VBA tutorial. This is going to be relatively straightforward. What I want to do is to show you how you can create your own functions inside of VBA, which you can then call from right here within the spreadsheet. So you've seen some of the standard functions that come with Excel. So for example, you could, if you type a value in here, 4 and 5, and then you can go equals, here you go, look, search, second, sign, sin, etc, etc, sum, brackets, 4, 5, brackets, enter. Okay, so those are system functions. What I'm going to show you now is how to create your own. And you might say to yourself, well, why do I want to create my own when I've got these built-in functions? Well, sometimes it's easier to manipulate data right at the low level, and write your own functions to manipulate that data rather than do it all up here, writing a bunch of functions within a spreadsheet. A classic example would be if I was, say, for example, made cell C3 3 and D3 4. You could write here equals if, so logic statement, parentheses, 3, cell C4, sorry, cell C3 is less than cell D4, then quotes true, quotes else, quotes false. If I can spell it, quotes, close parentheses, okay, enter, and you can see it returns true. The reason for that, 3 is less than 4. Okay. If I said, for example, made this 5, now it returns false. Cool. However, you have to type all of this into this cell, and that works. But if one of your users comes along and goes blah 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 blah, yeah, okay, delete all this and la la la, and then goes equals la la la, formula's gone. So it's not always a good idea. So sometimes it pays to write your own functions inside of a macro. So without further ado, top of the menu bar here you can see the Develop tab. If you watch one of my previous tutorials, it'll show you how to get the Developer tab up. If you haven't seen it yet, please dig it out. It's in the Excel section of my playlist, and yeah, it'll show you exactly how to get this Developer tab up. So first thing we do, hit your Visual Basic icon, or Alt F11. We'll do Alt F11. There's your ID. Okay, let's get rid of these functions. Actually, these are a couple of functions that I produced earlier on, and what I'm going to do is I'll erase all these and we'll start from scratch. Okay, and what I'm going to do is bring the IDE down here, and then I'm going to bring the spreadsheet up here so we can see what's going on. Excuse me. Right, so first thing I suggest you do is type in option, caps lock off, option explicit. Okay, now what this does is it basically type checks your code as you type it in. So if you wish to put something in that the IDE didn't recognize, for example, it would be underlined with some red squiggle, just prompting you that you've made a mistake. So keep it on. If you don't, then your program might run, but it might fail. So yeah, anyway, just keep it on. Okay, so in order for us to communicate to and fro from this spreadsheet here down into the macro level, you have to create what's called a function. Okay, so you can create subs in here for a subroutine, but we're not going to do that. It won't work. You have to create a function. Function returns a value. Okay, so function, and we'll do an example which is similar to one I've just showed you within the cell with the if check. Okay, so we're going to pass 2 values down from the spreadsheet into our function. Okay, so we're going to go function, and we'll call this check it. Okay, open parentheses, and then in here we need to declare our 2 parameters. So we're going to call x, and we're going to declare x as an integer. Actually, no, we'll create a single, and y as a single. Okay, this just means that you can use decimals. Okay, enter, and the end function auto completes for you, which is a great idea. If you want to know a bit more about singles and what the maximum capacities are, you hit F1, pop up a little help. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Okay. Okay, there you go. So this page is specific to the Visual Basic VBA language, blah 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 blah. Single, precision, floating point, variable, 4 bytes of memory is taken up, and you can express using singles numbers in the range of -3.4 to -1.4 to -45 for negative values, and then 1.4 to -45 to 3.4 positive values. Okay, so it's more than enough for our purpose. Okay, so one thing you need to do here at the end of your function declaration is type as, okay, and then string, okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to return true or false if x is less than y, okay, as we did in our cell example. Okay, so tab to autocomplete, come back down into your function. Okay, so if in parentheses x is less than y, close parentheses, then CAD return tab, and you're going to have to use the name of your function because you're going to be returning through this function back up to the higher level spreadsheet. Okay, so we'll Control C there, place that in here somewhere, CAD return tab, hit along here, and then check it, equals, quotes, true, quotes, okay, come back down here, else, okay, so if x is not less than y, then it's got to be equal to or greater than, so we don't have to do another check, we'll just type else, tab, check it, equals, quotes, false, quotes, and then don't forget to close your if else statements with end if. So end if else statements always start if else end if. You can also get an else if here, so you can actually do another check, else if parentheses x equals y, close brackets, then do this else. Check it, equals, quotes, false. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to say, we'll put equal here just for a laugh, equal. Okay, so that is our function, and that should work. Okay, so the next thing to do to check it, so we go up to our spreadsheet up here, okay, we type equals, and hopefully when we type ch we'll see our little function up here, and there it is, look, check it, marvellous. Okay, feeling a bit special and in amongst all these big boys, look. So we'll double click that, it opens up a parentheses for us, ready to rock. We know we've created our own function, so we know what it takes. It takes 2 singles, so we're going to type in 3, a comma and a 4, a close parenthesis, and a enter, and what do you know, x is less than y, and it's true. Okay, and we can make 3 a 4, so they're equal, and it should come back with equal. And if we make the 4 a 5, it's going to come back with a formula type incorrect, and that's because I've just overwritten my parenthesis, lol. Okay, enter, false. Okay, brill. Okay, now I'm going to go into more detail with functions and subroutines and whatnot in the future, but for now I just wanted to show you how to create your own custom functions that you could call from your spreadsheet. Okay, any questions, leave us a message or a comment. You can either email me through my channel, or you can leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, until next time, take care. Okay, so the first thing we do here in our IDE is to add our our code module. So right click in the VBA project area here in the space somewhere. Okay, go down to insert, and you want to insert a module. Click, and there she goes.